Good Wednesday morning, everyone, here with the latest on Hurricane Sally as of the 11 a.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center, maintaining that Category 1 status now, continuing to weaken now that the center, the eye, is over land. It has winds of 80 miles per hour, gusts as high as 100, starting to move a little bit quicker, which is good news, especially along the coast where they've already picked up in some spots over 20 inches of rain. Still moving slowly, but off to the north-northeast at 5 miles per hour. Just a slight improvement with that forward motion. Now, as we go through the day today, the storm will continue to rapidly weaken. It will maintain that tropical storm status just up until the Alabama-Georgia line there, and then it will weaken even more into a tropical depression, carrying sustained winds of 35 miles per hour. Now, the latest forecast cone did shift slightly to the north, but that center is still going to pass by to our north through some of our northwesternmost counties, it looks like, as of the latest advisory, and that's what the models are hinting as well. Either way, we are going to pick up a lot of rain as we have Sally get closer to us and move through our area. Thanks to that, flash flood watch is in effect from 2 o'clock this afternoon until 8 o'clock Friday morning. That means that flash flooding is possible for most of central Georgia. So if you see any water, standing water in the roads, turn around, don't drown. You don't want to drive into that. You never know how deep that is. And if you do have any reports of flooding in your area, safely send that our way. We do like to keep track of where we are seeing flooding across central Georgia when we do have events like this. So we also are watching for the potential for severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center did shift that slight risk and the marginal risk northward slightly as well. Our threats remain the same. We will be, of course, having to deal with those very heavy tropical downpours, some very gusty wind, and we'll go through the wind gust values in a second. And we'll be watching for those brief isolated tornadoes as well in the outer convective rain bands as the center of circulation gets closer to us. The timing will be around 8 o'clock. We'll open up that window of opportunity, and then we'll bring that to a close around 5 o'clock, but then we'll pick that back up around 5 in the morning through around maybe noon for our northern counties. I don't think that if you're only in this green shaded area for tomorrow that you are the only ones who could potentially deal with severe weather. I do think we'll still be watching our northeastern counties as we head through the morning tomorrow, maybe into the early afternoon. So let's take you through the RPM here. As we go through the afternoon, on and off rain will be possible as this storm gets a little bit closer to us. Heaviest rain by 5 o'clock looks to stay to our south, so that's promising news, especially for the commute home today. By 8 o'clock, that's when we're really going to start to introduce those outer convective rain bands into our forecast, and that's when we'll be watching for the potential for a brief spin up. It's not going to be a wall-to-wall coverage situation for multiple hours, but we will be watching for that potential, as we will have the ingredients for a spin up, especially when you're dealing with these tropical systems. And as long as this tropical depression at the time will be moving through our area, we will be watching for that brief isolated tornado threat. Even through the overnight hours, we'll keep that threat going. Very important to mention, it's a good idea to have a way to receive weather warnings. Don't rely on those tornado sirens, as this is going to be an overnight event for many of us. As we head towards 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, that's when we'll start to bring the threat to an end for Macon southward, and then we'll shift our focus on our northeasternmost counties for the morning. And the latest RPM moving a little bit quicker, and that looks like we will start to pull back our threat by maybe 11 noon, and the storm will be out of our way. We'll have a cold front moving through the area in tandem with this system, pushing it out of our area, and we'll be able to experience a really nice and fall-like weekend once the storm gets out of the way. But stay weather aware starting late tonight into early tomorrow afternoon. When it comes to wind gust values, we'll continue to pick up our potential for wind gusts upwards of 25 miles per hour in the early afternoon, and then into tomorrow morning, we'll watch for wind gusts upwards of 40 miles per hour. The general consensus will be between 25 and 35 miles per hour. If you're west of 75, you'll be closer to that center of circulation. Expect those higher wind gust values. We're talking again, gusts upwards of 40. Sustained wind, we could see upwards of 30 in some of our westernmost counties when it comes to that constant wind. If you're west of 75, again, expect those higher wind values and wind gust values. Now, by tomorrow afternoon, most of us will be experiencing those 25 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts, and then as Sally makes its way out, cold front moves in. We're still going to stay breezy as we head into the start of the weekend, but not near as windy as we will be over the next couple of days. Rainfall wise, 1 to 2 inches if you're south of Macon, closer again to that center, you're going to have the higher impacts. So we're talking 3 to 6 inches of rain, maybe even locally heavy amounts. We will be watching for that flooding threat as well all the way into Friday morning. Of course, we will continue to keep you updated both on air and online as we continue to monitor Hurricane Sally.